music video that I directed, and I was obsessed with him, and I was like, this guy is amazing, and he never edited a movie before. Just finished Deadpool and Wolverine, and he came on and helped us with this one, and he has incredible taste in music. Taylor, I mean, she's such an incredible writer. She writes from such personal experiences and vulnerability, so to have these two women who are authoring their story, and also women who are really like, you know, Colleen started as being self-published. What Taylor's done with her life and career, I think that and my hair care company, Blake Brown, my goodness gracious. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy week.
Welcome back to my channel. It's Thursday, February 6, 2025, and things just keep getting worse for Blake Lively. What's striking about this situation is that she only had a select few close friends, and one of them happens to be one of the most influential and powerful figures in Hollywood right now. This particular friend just wrapped up the highest-grossing concert tour of all time, the Eras Tour. Yes, I'm talking about none other than Taylor Swift, whose music has dominated the airwaves for over a decade. Taylor Swift is arguably the biggest female pop star of our generation. With an astounding number of Grammy wins, record-breaking album sales, and an impressive streak of #1 hits, she has been riding a wave of unparalleled success for years. Taylor and Blake have shared a close friendship for over a decade. They were once part of a tight-knit Hollywood circle that almost resembled the real-life version of Mean Girls. All blonde, all glamorous, and carrying an aura of exclusivity. It often seemed like an elite and somewhat snobbish group. However, Taylor has always been careful about her public image, striving to maintain a clean and controversy-free reputation. That's why her connection with Blake Lively has always intrigued me. Blake has always come across as calculating and, at times, even unkind. Of course, I don't know them personally, but I've always wondered about the dynamic between them. So when I saw Taylor's name mentioned in text messages related to this unfolding scandal, I knew it was only a matter of time before Taylor distanced herself from Blake. Taylor Swift is far too prominent to get tangled in unnecessary drama, and she certainly doesn't want to be used as a pawn. Hollywood operates on a system of shifting alliances. Friendships are only valid as long as they serve a purpose. The moment someone becomes a liability, they are quickly cast aside. That's why the latest rumors of a fallout between Blake and Taylor, allegedly stemming from Blake dragging Taylor into her legal mess, have now exploded into a full-blown public rift. Let's break this down. The lawsuit filed by Mr. Alone revealed text messages where Blake leveraged her relationship with Taylor Swift to manipulate and intimidate Justin. She essentially used Taylor's name and influence to flex her power and push her own agenda. The messages suggest that Blake was willing to use Taylor's music, status, and Hollywood clout as a tool to pressure Justin into submission. One of the most telling messages she sent stated, "Both Ryan and Taylor have established themselves as absolute titans in writing and storytelling, beyond just their primary crafts of acting or singing. I'm incredibly fortunate to have them as my creative sounding boards, but more than that, they uplift me and ensure I get the recognition I deserve. They know firsthand all that I bring to the table. I sometimes struggle to make sure I'm seen and valued, fearing it might ruffle egos or disrupt the process. But they don't care about that. Because of them, people listen to them and to me with deep respect and enthusiasm. So maybe I should stop worrying about being liked. If you've ever watched Game of Thrones, you'll understand this reference. I am Daenerys Targaryen, and like her, I have dragons. And my dragons protect those I fight for. In the end, everyone benefits from my fire-breathing beasts. And so will you, I promise." This message sends a clear message to Justin. Either comply with Blake's demands or face the wrath of her influence, including that of Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds. Essentially, she frames Taylor and Ryan as assets she can either offer as an incentive or deploy as a threat. It's a classic manipulation tactic, dangling powerful connections as both a reward and a weapon. If I were Taylor and found out that my so-called friend was name-dropping me like this, I'd be outraged. No one wants to be someone else's dragon, especially not Taylor, who has worked so hard to maintain a polished image. She has always presented herself as a commercially friendly, non-confrontational artist. Being dragged into this mess as a bully or an enforcer, that's completely off-brand for her. Apparently, Taylor sees it the same way because it looks like her friendship with Blake has gone up in flames. Things got even messier when TMZ asked Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Fredman, whether Taylor Swift might be called to testify. Fredman played coy, not revealing much, but he didn't rule it out either. TMZ's Harvey Levin pointed out that if Taylor were deposed, it could be a game changer. Having Taylor testify, either confirming or denying what happened, would be monumental. Let me tell you, depositions are no joke. If you've never been through one, they are brutal. I've personally endured 3 or 4, and they are some of the most grueling experiences imaginable. You sit in a room with cameras recording as the opposing lawyer interrogates you with no filter. There's no judge to moderate the questions, so they can grill you on anything they want, and you have to respond under oath. It's invasive, humiliating, and exhausting. Only afterward does a judge determine whether your testimony is even admissible in court. The mere idea of going through this is enough to make anyone reconsider their involvement in a case. Now imagine being Taylor Swift, one of the biggest celebrities in the world, and finding out that you might be dragged into a deposition where you could be subjected to humiliating, career-damaging questions. The moment this possibility surfaced, things began to unravel quickly. TMZ recently reported that their sources, likely close to Baldwin's legal team, confirmed that Taylor has had enough. The new headline reads, "Taylor Swift's bad blood with Blake Lively. I'm not your dragon." According to reports, Taylor feels betrayed by Blake for using her as leverage in this legal battle and resents being referred to as one of Blake's dragons. Taylor's involvement stems from Justin's lawsuit, which details how Blake name-dropped Taylor to apply pressure. While Taylor has not publicly addressed the situation, insiders claim she is furious about being implicated and wants nothing to do with it. If anything, this serves as yet another example of how fickle Hollywood friendships can be. Once someone becomes too much of a liability, they are swiftly discarded. So, is this the official end of Taylor and Blake's decade-long friendship? Only time will tell, but from the looks of it, Taylor is making it clear. She's not anyone's dragon, and she won't let herself be used as a pawn in Hollywood's never-ending power plays. Blake and Brian Reynolds hosted a meeting at their penthouse, where they attempted to pressure Justin into agreeing to rewrite a scene. They exerted significant influence, leveraging their power to push him toward compliance. As this intense discussion was unfolding, Taylor Swift unexpectedly walked in. To Justin, the message felt unmistakable. Her presence was being used as a strategic move to further Blake and Ryan's agenda. He perceived it as a manipulation tactic and did not take it well. Taylor, on the other hand, is now claiming that she was unaware of the dynamics at play and was misled into attending. She was reportedly instructed to arrive at the penthouse at a specific time, and she believes that Blake orchestrated her arrival, ensuring that she would walk in while Justin was still present. Taylor suspects that she was used as a pawn in Blake's power play, deliberately placed in the situation to demonstrate Blake's alliances. According to a source close to Taylor who spoke with TMZ, Taylor only went to Blake's apartment because Blake invited her, without any knowledge of the ongoing meeting with Justin. The source further elaborated that as Justin was preparing to leave after a tense 2-hour discussion, Taylor walked in and met him for the first and only time. All she allegedly said to him was how excited she was to see the movie because he was her friend's boss. However, Taylor now believes that Blake intentionally planned the timing so she and Justin would cross paths, which has left her feeling manipulated. What baffles Taylor even more is that Blake later characterized her as a dragon in the situation. Taylor found this incredibly odd and offensive, especially coming from someone she considered a close friend. A source close to Taylor stated that their friendship might struggle to recover from this, which is significant given that Taylor is the godmother to one of Blake and Ryan's children. Conflicting reports have since emerged. Each time a story breaks suggesting that Taylor is furious and frustrated with Blake over the incident, another source connected to Blake quickly counters it. For example, following TMZ's report, an update surfaced contradicting the narrative. A source close to Blake insists that there is no strain in their friendship and that they still communicate regularly. Another insider, however, maintains that Taylor was extremely upset about how deeply she was dragged into the matter, particularly over the dragon comment. Blake has since apologized, and according to this account, they had an emotional moment, shedding tears and embracing in reconciliation. Now the public is left to decide whom to believe: Taylor's sources who claim she's furious and their friendship is unraveling, or Blake's camp, which insists everything has been smoothed over. What's striking is how this story keeps evolving, with leaks happening consistently over the past week. Every major media outlet, from Radar Online to News Nation, Page 6, and the Daily Mail, has reported different variations of the same story. Each time an article claims there's tension between Taylor and Blake, A counter-statement promptly follows from someone linked to Blake, denying any conflict. Given Blake's known tendency to control narratives, it all feels like a calculated PR move. This situation bears similarities to the PR strategy Leslie Sloan used when defending Blake against accusations from Justin Baldoni. If you recall, when TMZ and other outlets reached out for information on Blake's alleged behavior on set, reports surfaced suggesting she was difficult to work with, seized creative control, and created tension within the production team. In response, Leslie Sloan countered with a strong denial, shifting the narrative by painting Justin as the problem. Now it seems history is repeating itself. Reports indicate that Leslie Sloan might once again be feeding outlets like TMZ carefully curated statements, ensuring Blake's image remains intact. For instance, Radar Online recently published a headline stating, "Taylor Swift's furious response to being dragged into Blake Lively's sexual harassment melodrama revealed. She's evaluating their entire friendship." These reports suggest Taylor is fuming over being pulled into Blake's lawsuit with Justin Baldoni and may even reconsider their friendship altogether. With the Super Bowl approaching, where Taylor is set to cheer on her boyfriend, sources claim she is carefully assessing the situation. Some reports suggest she may even encourage Blake to settle the case to avoid further negative press. While Taylor had previously invited Blake and Ryan to the game, the ongoing controversy could force her to rethink her association if she continues to be pulled deeper into this unfolding drama. The legal experts are now reporting that TMZ is claiming that Blake and Ryan might not be attending the Super Bowl based on the latest intel. But here's the thing. Taylor is having some serious doubts about her friendship with Blake right now. The whole Justin drama has spiraled out of control, and it seems that Blake has, well, kind of thrown Taylor under the bus. Taylor, however, has a solid group of friends around her, and they're all noticing how this fallout is severely impacting the public's view of both Blake and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. Taylor's image has always been pristine. She's known as America's sweetheart, and she's not about to let this situation tarnish that. I mean, didn't I mention before that she'd do whatever it takes to protect that image? Word on the street is that Taylor was blindsided when she found out that Blake was calling her and Ryan her dragons. She had no idea until she saw the headlines, just like the rest of us. This scandal feels like it's not going anywhere unless they can work out a deal. And let's be real, Justin isn't exactly in a rush to settle this anytime soon. Add to that the Super Bowl looming on the horizon, and Taylor is concerned about Travis being distracted by all this chaos. She's not exactly feeling optimistic about what lies ahead for Blake and her friendship. How things play out really depends on how quickly the media storm dies down and if Blake and Justin can reach some sort of resolution before even more dirty laundry is aired publicly. But it's clear that Taylor feels like she was dragged into this mess as a form of intimidation, and that's something she doesn't appreciate. Swift is feeling like she was just a pawn in a larger game of manipulation, especially after Bond's lawsuit against Lively claimed that Blake directed him to comply with her script changes. When he didn't respond positively, the court records indicate that Lively used Swift's involvement as a form of pressure, making him feel like he had no choice but to agree. The unnecessary involvement of Taylor's name in the case was seen as a tipping point for her. She never intended to be part of that meeting in the first place but ended up at Lively's New York penthouse, only to find the discussion still ongoing. Despite their decade-long friendship, this incident has made her completely reevaluate things in the Hollywood sphere. If you're a public figure and your friend is getting dragged through negative press, and then you're pulled into the middle of their battle, it's a tough spot to be in, especially when you're trying to maintain a spotless image. And just to be clear, while Taylor may be perceived as America's sweetheart, no one is perfect. We all have our flaws. The fact that Taylor has been associated with Blake for so long is starting to reflect poorly on her, and she's aware of that. Taylor has always been known for surrounding herself with a group of friends, her squad. But let's be honest, a true America's sweetheart wouldn't need a squad of people constantly validating her. They wouldn't act snobby or play the pick-me game. And the reality is, a real sweetheart wouldn't have someone like Blake Lively as a friend. A name-dropper, an intimidator, and even a bully. There's plenty of video evidence and interviews out there showing Blake's behavior, which has already earned her a reputation. For Taylor to act surprised by this, it just doesn't add up for me. It feels like Taylor is spinning this situation just as much as Blake is. Blake's PR team is saying everything is fine between them, while Taylor's camp is suggesting things may be over. There's a lot of PR back and forth, and Taylor is certainly doing everything she can to protect her billion-dollar image. Blake, on the other hand, is not in the same financial league, so Taylor will only keep people around who contribute positively to her public image. If they stop helping her look good, they're out. This is Hollywood, and you can't trust anyone. Everyone in this game has stepped on others to get to the top, leaving a trail of casualties behind them. On one hand, I get it. Taylor is trying to distance herself from Blake, but on the other hand, she knew who Blake was all along. So, I'm not buying the act that she's suddenly shocked by all of this. Let's be real. There's no way she didn't know what she was getting into. She might have even used the whole situation to get her song into the movie. Taylor's team worked behind the scenes to make sure she benefited from this situation in a way that goes beyond just her image. The truth is, Taylor is not as innocent as she wants people to think. When it comes to their PR spins, Blake's saying everything's good, while Taylor's suggesting their friendship is on the rocks. It's clear there's a bigger issue brewing. I wouldn't be surprised if their friendship fizzles out for good. The more this unfolds, the more the gloves are going to come off. So what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.